in agricultural animals. Just, we got to be careful out there, folks. Your source of beef and chicken, make sure it's a local, good source without hormones and antibiotics. Thank you, FDA, for finally clearing the way to animals becoming more healthy. My name is Doug Kaufman. You know, wouldn't it be great if on Know the Cause we could resolve cancer in about a 5-minute segment? Let's try and do that, okay? The question often arises, why this increase? Why is cancer increasing? And I read something on Yahoo News the other day, the 3 reasons so many people are getting cancer. Boy, and they got an MD out there who studies cancer. Here's his 3 reasons. Older people get cancer more often, and we're all getting older. Wow. Number 2, obesity opens the door to several kinds of cancer. And number 3, despite increased awareness, there are some cancer types that just continue to gain ground and contribute to cancer increases, and we don't know why. So the 3rd one is certain cancer types are on the rise. So we're getting older, we're becoming more obese, and cancer just increases sometimes. Let's see if in 4 minutes we can address this problem, okay? I'm going to take one kind of cancer. I can't do them all. You know, doctors say there are hundreds of kinds of cancers or 100 kinds. I disagree. I think there's genetic mutations that contribute to what we call cancer, right? So prostate, brain, gallbladder, you know, breast cancer. As a matter of fact, let's see what's published on breast cancer. What causes breast cancer? According to the American Medical Association, antibiotic use in relation to the risk of breast cancer. Here's their quote. Antibiotics increase the risk and incidence of fatal breast cancer. Antibiotics, folks. What are antibiotics? If you watch Know the Cause for a long period of time, you got it. You know what antibiotics are, right? Antibiotics are fungal byproducts, metabolites of fungus, right? And they're called mycotoxins. They're poisons. They're poisonous chemicals made gases, liquids, solids, etc. by fungus. It's just saying a little mycotoxin that sprays off. Whereas about 60 to 100 fungi have been found to be pathogenic in man, they produce many mycotoxins each. So understand, antibiotic use in relation to breast cancer, look at that. Antibiotics increase the risk and fatality of breast cancer. Well, what else might cause breast cancer? Alcohol. Alcohol increases the risk of breast cancer, but watch this. Alcohol can increase a woman's chance of getting breast cancer. It doesn't appear that the type of alcohol a woman drinks makes any difference. Now, you tell me how a prostate lump or a brain lump or a lymph lump is any different than a breast lump. I mean, so men, it's okay to drink. And, you know, that's not going to hurt you at all. But women with breast cancer, we're finding, folks, they're not studying prostate cancer like they are breast cancer. Who heard of a run for prostate cancer that raises huge amounts of money, right? It's important that you understand where I'm going with this. So we got antibiotics, we got alcohol. What else might contribute to breast cancer? Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates and starch. What are you thinking of right now? Potatoes, pasta, rice, grains, right? A high carbohydrate diet increases the risk of breast cancer, so says the International Journal of Cancer in 2009. 2 years later, the American Association for Cancer Research says this: starch intake may influence the risk for breast cancer recurrence. I've worked with so many people through the years, so many good doctors that I've worked with who said, Doug, try and help this person with their diet. Wouldn't it be great if there was a diet that could starve whatever cancer is? Gee, I think cancer is a fungus, and there is a diet that starves fungus, and people do tend to get better, right? It's not the Mediterranean diet that the doctors love, but it's just like it, and it came along, I think, before the Mediterranean diet. Back in the 1970s, 72, 73, I was in a library studying, thinking I had a fungal infection, which I did. What is feeding this fungus? Well, it was my Oreo cookies, it was my Coors beer, it was my bologna sandwiches. Folks, there is a diet that feeds fungus, and I think fungus and cancer have much to do with one another. And then there is a diet that starves cancer. So what's the take-home message here? Why the increase in cancer? What do antibiotics alcohol, and carbohydrates all have in common? And why are they all associated with an increased risk for breast cancer? Fungus makes a poison called a mycotoxin. Antibiotics are fungal metabolites. Alcohols are fungal metabolites. Our grain supply is commonly contaminated with fungal metabolites. The take-home message is this: be careful out there. Be careful of what you eat. Be careful of the mold in your environment. Be careful of drinking alcohol. Be careful of taking too many rounds of antibiotics. It's amazing what herb shops and health food stores have in their power to help you get better over some of these conditions. But we run from doctor to doctor to doctor. Now you know.